Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, because I don't even know if this is going to end up being a bring it back or not, or whether it's just going to be a regular video, we'll kind of see after the fact. But for today's video, I want to talk about Titans and Doom Patrol getting canceled. Obviously, this video probably won't go up until Monday, but the news dropped, I think sometime yesterday at the time you're recording this, maybe. Some of them are great shows I thoroughly enjoy. Like, obviously, Titans is more on the more serious side. Doom Patrol can be serious, it can be heartfelt, it can give you all a range of emotions, but it's also like a wild, crazy, fun, and funny show. Well, news came out that both shows are sadly canceled. Neither one of them is getting a 5th season, which there's a multitude of things. Well, one, both of these shows were split into halves. So like the first halves of each of their current and final seasons have already aired. So the first 6 episodes of this season of Titans is already aired. The same thing for Doom Patrol. I believe the date for the second set of episodes, the last 6 episodes of Titans, I think the release date's already out there, but I don't know it off the top of my head. I'll include an annotation for it. But I don't believe the one for Doom Patrol is known at this time. But yeah. Each one is coming back for 6 more episodes, and sadly, these 6 episodes will be the last. Now, the reason why this is so interesting, and this is even why I'm wondering whether or not I'll label this as a bring it back or not. Would I want these shows to continue? Yes, but I also kind of already had it in my head, like, there's a probably good chance that they're going to get canceled. Why? Just because the board has kind of gotten swept on many different regards. Like, obviously, a lot of the DC stuff on the CW. The only thing left now are Superman and Lois and The Flash, which is entering its final season, and the final season actually starts airing next month, a couple weeks by the time this goes up. But and there's also the Gotham Knights show coming up, but those are only DC properties left on the CW. So, and just, you know, this all in conjunction with all the changes at, like, the restructuring at Warner Discovery, with, you know, the Discovery and Warner Brothers deal. So that was always already something I was kind of curious about, just because so many other things had already been canceled because of that. I'm sure like other aspects like viewership and stuff like that probably play a role, but I feel like probably like you can't ignore the restructuring of Warner Media being a factor in all of this as well, especially because James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over the DC as a whole and going to decide how things go forward. So they're probably not going to be too keen on keeping some of these projects alive. So where's some of this other stuff that I just mentioned, like a Superman and Lois, like what that looks like, even a Pennyworth, because I looked it up before I even started recording this, whether or not Pennyworth was coming back for a 4th season. That's still unclear, because I'm sure they're trying to decide on that front either. That's why when season 3 ended, I was like, I'm not even sure the show's going to get a 4th season. Maybe before all this it might have, but, you know, once again, there's the whole rating situation, but also just everything else going on. So but based on what I've read online, both shows will have satisfactory endings, because I think was it like producers or executive producers kind of saw the writing on the wall because of the restructuring at DC. So apparently these 4th seasons are kind of getting the Stargirl treatment. If you're unaware, Stargirl was canceled in the middle of its 3rd season, but the writers kind of had a little bit of a heads up, so they aimed everything towards having a conclusive enough ending. And from what I read in an article, it seems like the same thing is happening with Titans and Doom Patrol. So that's why I'm in this complicated spot of like, I would want these shows to continue, but I know legitimately there is no way these shows will continue going forward. It's kind of a clean slate to some degree. Once again, we don't fully know what James Gunn and Peter Safran's full overarching plan for everything is, but still, being able to have gotten the amount of seasons we've gotten, I'm very excited. I'm happy we've gotten to tell these stories that we've gotten to tell with both Titans and Doom Patrol. And I once again, I would want them to continue, but if we are at the very least getting satisfying endings, once again, I don't even know what that's going to necessarily look like, because we still have 6 episodes to go on both fronts. I am curious, like production wise, like was that something already set in stone when the season's already started, or is that something they're doing now with the back half of the season's kind of like aiming towards? I don't know, like the production side of things, like how that works. I am very, very sad to see these shows go. But like I said, once again, if they are able to end on a satisfactory enough note, then it kind of makes it all worthwhile in the end. And that can at least be some silver lining to kind of a sucky situation. I wasn't expecting these shows to go on forever and ever, but I probably want at least have gotten one more season with every show. Once again, kind of fully go into this being like, yep, you got one more season to wrap everything up, rather than being like, I can kind of see the tea leaves and kind of adjust and think this might be the end. I'd rather just be like the network outwardly being like, hey, you got one more season to wrap everything up, you know. But, you know, things don't always sadly work out that way. So it does beg the question when the next time we will see any of these characters. Obviously, potentially things getting rebooted. I don't know if these characters are going to pop up in anything immediately over the next 10 years, whatever the next DC 10-year plan is and all that, right? But even then, who knows when we'll get this. I mean, I don't know if these characters being used in this capacity like right now means they'll be less likely to use them in the future. I would think you would want to put some buffer time in between them, but I don't know. These are versions of these characters I've come to know and love, you know, and then this live action format. So it is going to be kind of, I mean, you'll adjust to it, obviously, and I'm not going to be like, oh, these aren't my hashtag Titans or my hashtag Doom Patrol. You know, it's a multiverse. Like, there's different versions of different characters and stuff like that. I can accept that. I'm not going to be like so stuck in my ways, but it is just kind of a bummer, like these versions of these characters I've come to know and kind of having to say goodbye to them. I mean, that kind of that's true across the entire DC front with everything that's ended or gotten canceled, sadly, especially stuff that's gotten canceled. My thing is, I just want everything to be able to have a proper ending, and you know, if we're able to get one, then like I said, it sucks, but at the very least I will take that. But really, that's all I'm going to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.